Hi everyone, I am Miss Ingilio and I will be your teacher in science for today. Don't forget that learning is fun. Our topic for today will be all about the hierarchy of colors in relation to the energy of the visible light. Now, ano ibig sabihin yan? Pag sinabi nating hierarchy, ito yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga colors depende sa kanilang energy levels. Before we proceed to our discussion, let us first analyze and observe the stars at night. Or para mas madali, let us analyze the picture in front of our screen. We have here the stars at night. So kung mapapansin niyo yung mga stars sa gabi, meron siyang iba't ibang kulay at meron din siyang iba't ibang klase ng laki. Now let us answer the questions in relation to the picture before or to the picture shown before. Question number 1, what colors of the star do you see at night? So usually may mga stars tayong nakikita sa gabi at meron yung mga iba't ibang kulay. Madalas nakakakita tayo ng color blue, color red, o kaya naman color yellow or parang medyo color white. Do you think they all have the same energy? So does those stars have the same energy? Hindi. They have different energies. What star is the closest to our planet? So, ano ba yung star na pinakamalapit sa ating planet? That is the sun. So, ang sun or ang araw natin ay isang star. At yun ang pinakamalapit na star sa planet Earth. Do you have any idea how far stars are from our planet? So the stars are very, very far away from our planet. And it is measured in light years. So sobrang layo niya sa ating planet at ang measurement na ginagamit doon ay light years. So kahit siya ay malayo sa ating planet, nararamdaman pa rin natin yung kanyang energy or yung kanyang init. So, ibig sabihin, sobrang lakas ng kanyang energy at ng kanyang init. Now, the last question, relate your emotions and feelings to the colors of the light. What will you feel when you see each color? So, since ang light ay may iba't ibang color or katulad nga ng kanina, yung mga stars, meron siyang iba't ibang colors, ganun din yung colors ng light. Meron din siyang iba't ibang kulay. And sometimes, those colors, we relate it into emotions. So, ina-associate natin siya into emotions. Halimbawa, yung color red. Ano ba yung madalas na emotions ang kinoconnect natin sa color red? Minsan, ito ay anger. Minsan naman, ito ay passion or love. While sa color blue naman, ano ba yung emotions na madalas natin kinoconnect pagdating sa color blue? Madalas or minsan ito ay ginagamit natin to show sadness. And minsan, it is also used to show the cooling effect or yung temperature na malamig kapag color blue. Now, let's take a look again at another sample picture. So, let us analyze and observe the picture in your screen. So, what do you see? Yes, there is a rainbow. Aside from the rainbow, there are sky and also there are plants or green plants. So let us focus more on the rainbow. Bakit ba nagkakaroon ng rainbow at ano ba yung dahilan ng rainbow sa langit? So, yun yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon sa ating magiging topic because the rainbow has a connection to the hierarchy of colors in relation to the energy of the visible light. So, since light ang pinag-uusapan, ano ngayon yung ibig sabihin ng light? Madalas, kapag sinabi nating light, ilaw siya, ang naisip natin ay bumbilya o kaya fluorescent lamp. But in the scientific term, ano ba ang definition ng light? Light or visible light is a kind of energy that travels in waves. It is made when matter is heated up or gains energy. So, ibig sabihin, light is a wave. Just like sound, na wave din, ang light, wave din siya. It is also considered as wave. Now, what type of wave is light? So, ano bang type ng wave ang light? It is transverse wave and also electromagnetic wave. So, ano ngayon yung electromagnetic wave at ano rin ngayon yung transverse wave? So, kung natatandaan ninyo, nung grade 7 kayo, pinag-aralan ninyo yung iba't ibang klase ng waves. Merong transverse waves, meron ding longitudinal waves. And aside from that, we also have another type of wave. We have the electromagnetic waves and the mechanical waves. So, ano ngayon ang transverse at ano ngayon ang electromagnetic wave? Punta muna tayo sa transverse wave. Ang transverse wave, ang pinagkaiba niya sa longitudinal wave is yung kanyang movement ng waves o yung motion ng waves. Ang electromagnetic waves naman, anong pinagkaiba niya sa mechanical waves? Ang electromagnetic waves, hindi na niya kailangan ng medium for propagation para siya ay makapag-travel. Kung natatandaan ninyo last time, ang sound ay example ng mechanical wave na kung saan kailangan niya ng medium of propagation para siya ay makapag-travel. Ano ba yung medium na ginagamit ng sound para siya ay makapag-travel? Yun yung solids, liquids, at gas. Ang electromagnetic wave, hindi na niya kailangan ng solids, liquids, and gases para siya ay makapag-travel. So, para mas madaling maintindihan, ang transverse wave, ganito yung kanyang movement. So, up and down yung movement ng waves niya. Ang electromagnetic wave naman, it doesn't need a medium for propagation. Hindi niya kailangan ng matter or yung tinatawag natin na solids, liquids, at gas para siya ay makapag-propagate or makapag-travel. And that is the reason why it can move in a vacuum. So, kahit nasa outer space, makakakita tayo ng light because it is an electromagnetic wave that doesn't need a medium for propagation. Kaya nga kapag nasa outer space, meron pa ring liwanag kasi electromagnetic wave siya. Kapag naman nasa outer space, walang sound kasi ang sound ay mechanical wave na kailangan pa ng medium for propagation. So, visible light or light, another definition is that it is an excess energy is released in part as light. This energy is called electromagnetic radiation. When we talk about light, we usually mean visible light, which is the light that we can see with our eyes. So, pag sinabi nating light, ang isa pang tawag sa kanya ay visible light. From the word itself, visible, which means siya yung nakikita ng ating mata. Okay, ibig sabihin, meron pang ibang kinds ng radiation na makikita or na meron sa paligid na hindi nakikita ng ating mata. But there are more types of electromagnetic radiation that are invisible to us, including the radio waves, the microwaves, the infrared, the ultraviolet rays, the X-rays, and also the gamma rays. So, ibig sabihin, ang electromagnetic radiation ay binubuo ng iba't ibang types. At yung iba't ibang types na yon ay yung radio waves, microwaves, infrared, ultraviolet, X-rays, at gamma rays. At syempre, kasama din doon yung visible light. So, ang visible light ay isa sa mga types ng electromagnetic radiation. Together with visible light, all these types of radiation are called electromagnetic spectrum. So, pag pinagsama-sama mo yung visible light, radio waves, microwaves, X-rays, gamma rays, and infrared, they are called the electromagnetic spectrum. Ano ngayon yung electromagnetic spectrum? The electromagnetic spectrum is the range of frequencies of electromagnetic radiation and their respective wavelengths and photon energies. So, ang electromagnetic spectrum, binubuo siya ng iba't ibang frequencies, wavelengths, and energies ng mga electromagnetic radiation. Para mas madaling maintindihan, ito yung picture ng electromagnetic spectrum. Ang electromagnetic spectrum ay binubuo ng iba't ibang electromagnetic radiation. At yung mga electromagnetic radiation na yon ay yung radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays, at gamma rays. Ngayon, may reason bakit ganyan yung pagkakasunod-sunod niyan. Nakaayos yan based sa kanilang wavelength or sa laki ng kanilang wavelength. Okay? So, yung radio waves, ang size ng wavelength niya ay kasing laki ng isang building. Ang microwaves naman, ang size ng wavelength niya ay kasing laki ng baseball. Ang infrared naman, ang size ng wavelength niya ay kasing laki ng karayom. Ang visible light naman ay kasing laki ng bakterya. Ang ultraviolet ay kasing laki ng virus. Ang X-rays, ang wavelength niya ay kasing laki ng atoms. At ang gamma rays naman, kasing laki niya or ang wavelength niya ay kasing laki ng subatomic particles ng isang atom. So, it is arranged based from the sizes of their wavelength. Ngayon, kung napapansin niyo, ang visible light ay nasa gitna ng infrared at ng ultraviolet. So, magpo-focus lang tayo sa visible light. At kung napapansin nyo nga, ang visible light ay nasa gitna ng infrared at ultraviolet. Ngayon, ang visible light, binubuo yan ng iba't ibang colors. Kaya nga natin kanina ginawang example yung rainbow, kasi ang rainbow, yun yung kulay ng visible light. Para mas madaling maintindihan, ito yung kulay ng visible light. Or, in short, yung Roy G. Biv o yung rainbow. So, una yung red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet yung nasa dulo. So, kung napapansin niyo, yung infrared, pagkatapos ng infrared is yung color red ng rainbow. And pagdating sa dulo, yung kulay violet, at pagkatapos ng violet is yung ultraviolet naman ng electromagnetic spectrum. Kaya ganun yung arrangement ng color sa rainbow o sa Roy G. Biv because of their different wavelengths and frequencies. So, when the visible light passes through a prism, dispersion happens. So, paano ba nabubuo ang rainbow? Kapag ang visible light na galing sa araw or sunlight, kapag siya ay dumaan sa prism, nagkakaroon ng dispersion. Ano yung dispersion? Dispersion is a property of visible light that can be defined as the splitting of white light when it passes through a prism into its constituent spectrum of colors. So, ang dispersion ay ang splitting of white light or paghihiwalay ng white light kapag siya ay dumaan sa prism. Dispersion figuratively means distribution, and hence that's exactly what is happening in a rainbow. So, kaya nagkakaroon ng rainbow because of dispersion of the sunlight or white light. Okay? Kapag yung white light ay dumaan sa prism, maghihiwa-hiwalay siya into its different colors, which is the Roy G. Biv, kaya nagkakaroon ng rainbow. So, yung white light, dadaan siya sa prism, at pag dumaan siya sa prism, maghihiwa-hiwalay siya, magkakaroon ng iba't ibang kulay or lalabas yung Roy G. Biv na colors. Ngayon, paano nabubuo yung rainbow sa langit? Meron bang malaking prism or triangle sa langit kaya nagkakaroon ng rainbow? So, yun yung aalamin natin. Yung rainbow, pag dumaan sa prism, ano ngayon yung prism sa langit? The tiny water droplets in the sky act as a prism, causing sunlight to disperse and form a rainbow. So, yung rainbow, kaya nga siya minsan, or kaya siya madalas nabubuo after the rain, kasi yung mga tiny water droplets na nasa langit, or nasa clouds, it acts as a prism, kaya nagkakaroon ng dispersion. So, ibig sabihin, yung water, o yung droplets ng water, kapag tinamaan siya ng sunlight or ng white light, magkakaroon ng dispersion, lalabas yung Roy G. Biv o yung rainbow na kulay. The color of beam of light is determined by its frequency, its wavelength. Our eyes react differently to varying electromagnetic waves and perceive these different frequencies as different colors. So, yung iba't ibang frequency at wavelengths ng visible light ay merong iba't ibang kulay. Para mas madaling maintindihan, ito yung picture ng Roy G. Biv. So, kung mapapansin ninyo yung red, mas malaki ang wavelength niya kaysa sa violet. So, mula sa pinakamalaki, papunta sa pinakamaliit. So, ang may pinakamalaking wavelength ay red, hanggang sa paliit ng paliit pagdating sa orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, at pagdating ng violet, yun na yung pinakamaliit. Ganun din sa frequency. No, ano ngayon yung relationship ng frequency, wavelength, and energy sa light or sa visible light? Is the relationship, the greater the energy, the larger the frequency, and the shorter the wavelength. So, ibig sabihin, yung energy at yung frequency ay directly proportional from each other. So, when the energy rises up, the frequency also rises up. While yung wavelength naman ay kabaligtaran. Siya ay magiging mababa. Inversely proportional siya. So, pag tumaas si energy at frequency, bababa si wavelength. Pag naman mababa si energy at frequency, tataas naman si wavelength. Given the relationship between wavelength and frequency, the higher the frequency, the shorter the wavelength. It follows that short wavelengths are more energetic than long wavelengths. Now, how are temperature and color related? The amount of light produced at each wavelength depends on the temperature of the object producing the light. Stars hotter than the sun, over 6,000 degrees Celsius, put out most of their light in the blue and ultraviolet regions of the spectrum. Since ang araw natin ay star at ang color niya ay yellow, meron pang mas mainit kesa sa yellow-colored na stars which is yung mga color blue at color violet. So, mas mainit yun compare sa sun natin. So, yung 6,000 degrees Celsius na temperature niya, mas tataas pa yung temperature ng mga blue at violet colored na stars. Energy is directly proportional to the frequency of the light. The list of colors goes from low frequency to high frequency. So, yung arrangement ng Roy G. Biv, merong reason yan bakit ganyan yung pagkakaayos ng kulay niya. Bakit nauna yung red at bakit nasa huli yung violet. That is because of their frequencies and energy. Para mas madaling maintindihan, red has the lowest frequency, so red has the lowest energy. While the violet has the highest frequency, so violet has the highest energy. So, yung color red, since mababa ang frequency niya, mababa din yung kanyang energy. While yung violet naman, since mataas ang frequency niya, so ang energy niya ay mataas din. So, to summarize, para mas madaling maintindihan, we're going to use this table. So, ano ba yung table na yon? So, we have here the table for the energy of the visible light. We have here, in the first column, we have the colors. The next column, we have the energy. The next one is the frequency, which is measured in terahertz, while the last one is the wavelength, which is measured in nanometers. So, kung mapapansin niyo sa colors, it is arranged as Roy G. Biv. Nauna ang red, sumunod ang orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet ang last. Pagdating sa energy, kung mapapansin niyo, ang red ang may pinakamababang energy, so therefore, ang frequency niya ay mababa din. Pero pagdating sa wavelength, mataas ang kanyang wavelength. Pagdating naman dito sa violet, siya yung may pinakamataas na energy. So, since mataas ang energy niya, mataas din ang kanyang frequency. Pero pagdating sa wavelength, mababa na yung kanyang wavelength. Okay? So, yun yung relationship ng energy, ng frequency, at ng wavelength pagdating sa colors ng visible light. Again, pag mataas ang energy, mataas din ang frequency, pero ang wavelength magiging mababa. Pag naman mababa ang energy, mababa rin ang frequency, ang wavelength naman magiging mataas. Since we've already identified or discussed the scientific terms for the definition of the white light or the visible light, science defines colors as frequency wavelengths that follow the rainbow spectrum. So, ang colors, we define that based from their frequencies and wavelengths in science. While some people connect the colors based from a grid of attraction or based from their emotions. So, sometimes we use the color to express our emotions. Ano ba yung madalas na emotions na nilalabas natin sa mga iba't ibang kulay? Halimbawa, sa red, we associate it with heat, energy, and blood, and sometimes we also associate it with passion and love. So, pag nakakita tayo ng color red, madalas ang naisip natin anger or galit. And also, aside from that, we also associate it with the passion or love. Kaya nga minsan ginagamit natin to sa Valentine's Day. While the orange color is sometimes associated with the color for balance, while the yellow is the color of intellect and mental clarity, while the green, ang green very common yan for the nature and also for the environment. Ang blue naman, sometimes we use this for the emotion of sadness, and also sometimes or usually we use this to represent the cooling sensation or the calming sensation. So, yun yung madalas na ginagamit natin sa color blue na emotion. While in the purple, in human psychology, it is connected to royalty. So, yung mga royalty, yung mga princess or prince, minsan ganito yung color na ginagamit nila. Regality and nobility, it has also mournful effect. So, kapag kasi minsan violet, parang ang associated emotions dyan ay pagluluksa. While the white light, it is the color that symbolizes of transcendence, purity, perfection, innocence, chastity, and the triumph of spirit. So it also usually used as a color for cleanliness. So why the sky is blue, or bakit ba kulay blue ang sky? The sky appears blue because of the scattering of blue and violet light from the sunlight in the atmosphere. Violet light is more scattered than blue light. However, our eyes are most sensitive to blue, thus we see a blue sky. Now, ano naman yung reason? Bakit may sunset na red? During sunset, the path through which the light travels in the atmosphere becomes longer. As a consequence, more blue and violet are scattered from sunlight. Thus, less blue light reaches the ground and the light that reaches the Earth's surface is red. Now, why the clouds are white? Bakit puti naman ang clouds? Clouds are made up of cluster of water droplets of different sizes. Since the color of scattered light depends on the size of the particles, the different size clusters scatter a variety of colors. The smallest clusters scatter blue light resulting in blue clouds. The medium-sized cluster makes green and larger ones makes red. The combination of this result in white cloud. So, yung white cloud, basically siya lang yung paghahalo-halo ng kulay ng visible light, kaya siya ay nagiging kulay puti. Based from the previous lesson, light is composed of different colors, which are Roy-G-Biv, or the rainbow. Using arrows or symbols, draw how these objects reflect its wavelengths of colors coming from the sunlight. So for example, we have here an apple. Now, apple is color red. Paano siya nagiging color red? Ang kulay nga ng visible light ay marami. Roy-G-Biv nga yung kulay niya. So, ano ngayon yung nagiging reason bakit nagiging kulay red yung nakikita natin sa apple? So, for example, we have here yung white light ay nagkaroon na ng dispersion. So, naghiwa-hiwalay na siya. Yung red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, at violet. So, lumabas na yung Roy-G-Biv na color. Ngayon, yung Roy-G-Biv na yan, the rest of those colors, so itong orange hanggang sa violet, ma-absorb siya nung object or nung apple. Ano lang yung magre-reflect or yung lalabas? Yung color, red. Yun lang yung magbabounce back or yung magre-reflect, kaya yun yung nakikita ng ating mata. So, the rest, yung orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. So, wala akong color ng indigo, pero kasama yon. And yung last is yung violet. Lahat ng colors na yan na-absorb ng object. Ang hindi lang na-absorb ay yung color red. Yun lang yung nag-reflect, kaya yun yung nakita ng ating mata. Ganun din pagdating sa ibang object. Halimbawa, yung dahon. Di ba color green ang dahon? So, yung dahon, yung red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, and violet na absorb nung dahon, ang nag-reflect lang or yung lumabas lang na kulay is yung color green. Kaya kulay green yung nakikita ng ating mata. Same as to all those other colors. Ngayon, paano naman nagkakaroon ng kulay puti? Ang kulay puti, nagiging kulay puti siya or lumalabas yung kulay white na nakikita ng ating mata kapag yung visible light o yung Roy-G beam ay na-reflect or nailabas lahat ng object. Kaya nga 'di ba pagdating sa summer, mas advisable na magsuot ng kulay puti kasi hindi natin na-absorb or hindi na-absorb ng object yung energy, frequency at wavelength ng visible light. Kaya mas komportable siya sa katawan kasi hindi siya mainit. Paano naman yung color black? Sa color black, kabaligtaran siya ng color white. Lahat ng colors o yung Roy-G beam na absorb niya. Kaya ang nagiging reflection nun sa ating mata ay kulay itim kasi na-absorb lahat ng object ng kulay itim yung colors ng visible light, yung Roy-G beam. So kaya nga pag sa summer, hindi advisable na magsuot ng kulay itim kasi bukod sa mainit siya sa katawan, lahat ng energy, frequency at wavelength nung kulay itim na damit ay na-absorb niya, kaya mainit siya sa pakiramdam. So, yun yung reason kaya hindi advisable na magsuot ng kulay itim sa summer. Okay? So, that ends our lesson. I hope you learned something new with my discussion. I will post your assignment in the Google Classroom. That ends our discussion. I hope you learned something new and have a great day. Goodbye, class.